Welcome to Meet the Candidates 2024, a voter education program brought to you by the Shakopee Chamber of Commerce. My name is Tim Zunker, and I'm the president with the Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau. Our hope is that these candidate interviews and profiles will help you, the voter, understand your choices when it comes to the 2024 election. We ask voters to arm themselves with the information necessary to make educated choices and to make casting your vote a priority. Please visit the Shakopee Chamber website at shakopee.org to find out more information about the upcoming election for Shakopee School Board. At this time, I'd like to introduce Jeff Smith, who's running for re-election for Shakopee School Board. Jeff, thanks for joining us today. Please tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, thank you, Tim, and thank you to the board, to the chamber for putting this on. I really appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity. I'm Jeff Smith. I'm running for re-election for the Shakopee School Board. I'm in my first term, in my fourth year of my first term on the school board. My wife Jenny and I have lived in Shakopee for 23 years. We have two adult sons who both graduated from Shakopee High School, and they both attended Shakopee Public Schools, kindergarten through 12th grade. For my day job, I work at Pearson in Bloomington. Currently, I'm a technology manager there. For about 20 years, worked at Pearson. I'm also a Army veteran and a retired Army Reserve soldier with 27 years total service. In my spare time, I'm an associate coach for the Shakopee mountain bike team. When I ran in 2020, the school was facing many challenges. We were in the middle of a pandemic, and teachers and students were trying to juggle how to get through distance learning and hybrid learning. And the district also was in the middle of many financial challenges. The most obvious thing was the unassigned fund balance, which had fallen below 2%, when the recommended range is between 8 and 12% of the total budget. We had an operating levy on the ballot in 2020, which unfortunately did not pass. So one of my first jobs, one of the first things I had to do when I started on the board in 2021 was approve laying off 50 teachers and staff, as well as cutting programs and increasing class sizes. It was not a good way to start my experience on the school board. But I'm proud to say we're in a much better place today. The Shakopee community overwhelmingly approved an operating levy in 2021, which allowed us to hire back many teachers, lower class sizes, and to give our teachers historic pay raises, which while still not quite at the metro average, because even with the levy, we're still below the metro average in number of dollars available per student, at least got our teachers near their peers in surrounding communities. So as I look toward a second term, I really want to build on those successes and continue to support our teachers and give them the compensation and support they deserve, and focus on our students' achievement, closing the education gap, looking at data-driven ways to improve their success in reading and math, and then encourage students to take more challenging classes as well as participate in sports and the many new activities they have available.
Great. Thank you, Jeff. And what motivated you to run for re-election for Shakopee School Board? And if re-elected, what specific goals do you have to achieve or hope to achieve during your term?
Well, thank you. I think I jumped ahead a little bit and was actually possibly answering that question with my introduction. So, I think going forward, we really just need to focus on student achievement. You know, we have some challenges, many of which were the result of the pandemic. We're still seeing negative fallout from the pandemic that's affected students' success in math and reading, and So we really need to stay focused on the students going forward and their success. Fortunately, with the addition of our superintendent, Mike Redmond, who was hired before I came on board, we've seen great success in those efforts, mainly through the implementation of new systems in place to track success and actually see data over time, which we really had no way to do before. We're really focused on student success going forward, which is definitely our motivation at this time.
Great, thank you. Shakopee Public Schools have maintained a graduation rate that exceeds the state average. What strategies would you implement to continue this success, and how would you address any potential challenges?
Yeah. Like I said, we have a very high graduation rate compared to our neighboring districts, and I think a lot of that is due to new systems we have in place to track our students' progress, particularly at the high school. We're tracking. We have an on-track system that shows credits towards graduation and how our students are doing, and whether they're on track or not. And we can see as early as ninth grade whether students are falling behind. At that time, our counselors are trained to work with the students to get them back on track, see what credits they need, whether it's in the core credits or additional credits. Adjust their schedules accordingly, and look at potentially summer opportunities if they need it. And then finally, if that's still not enough, we have the excellent Takata Learning Center in Shakopee, which can provide alternative programs tailored for each student to get them to graduate on time.
Great, thank you. According to the Minnesota North Star Accountability System, statewide, students are struggling to meet grade level standards in math, reading, and science. Using the data provided, what can Shakopee Public Schools do to stand above the other schools in the state of Minnesota?
Yeah, I think our focus going forward is on student achievement and success, and like you said, I think really due to the pandemic, we're just still seeing students kind of falling behind where we'd like them to be, even this many years later. And Shakopee's not alone in the state with these challenges. Another thing we're seeing as a fallout of the pandemic is lower attendance in the district, and that's true statewide. We are implementing new reading and math curriculum that the teachers are being trained on last year and this year. And as well as, like I said, we have systems in place now to carefully track student progress, not just in the periodic tests that the students take, but just throughout the year and seeing where students are and where they need to be. Yes, and then subject of attendance, we have a new full-time person working at the high school now that's just for attendance. That's fully funded by Scott County, and we have a close relationship with Scott County, and it's been we've had some joint meetings with them, and it's just been a great relationship with them. And so this person is going to be working with families directly who struggle with attendance to see where their challenges are and what we can do about that.
Great. Thank you, Jeff. With new legislative requirements affecting school budgets, how would you ensure fiscal responsibility while maintaining the quality of education in Shakopee schools?
Yeah, that's a great question, and I'm really proud of our Shakopee Finance Director, Bill Minazzi, he's been instrumental in getting our budget back on track since we had our unassigned fund balance at historic lows, and then the failed operating levy. Now, 4 years later, our unassigned fund balance is at the policy level for the first time in 9 years. In addition to that, through Bill's efforts, our bond rating has gone up twice in the last 3 years. So we're in a much better spot financially than we were. And then with regard to new state legislation, for things like paid family leave and unemployment compensation for some of our part-time workers, which I think are great programs, and these are funded by the state. But we're tracking carefully how that affects our overall budget, and where we see concerns, especially as we look at new legislation with the new sessions coming up. If we see concerns, we have great relationships with both of our state representatives and our state senator to bring those concerns to them directly.
Great, thank you. And looking ahead, what do you see as the key areas of focus for the future of Shakopee Public Schools, and how would you contribute to their development?
We really need to focus on student achievement going forward and setting students up for lifetime success. Our excellent superintendent, Mike Redmond, he's got a motto, every kid is my kid. And you just see that, he exudes that every day with what he does in the district. And, with the systems he's put in place, we're tracking students much better than we were able to do 4 or 5 years ago. We know where students are. We know whether they're on track to where they need to be, and with enough time to do something about it, to actually intercede and provide, with the other programs we have, with the multi-tiered systems of support to give students, intervention need if they need it, and whether it's math or reading or other things, and then the developmental designs, which is really kind of redesigned how we interact with students and reaching students where they are, because we have a very diverse community with multi-language learners, and just being able to reach out to them and communicate with them where they need to be. And I think that's just done a great job. I'm really excited for the future of our district.
Great. Thank you, Jeff. That's all the questions I have. So I'll give you an opportunity to give your closing statement and message to the voters.
Yeah, thank you, Tim. One of my greatest things I'm able to do that brings me the greatest joys serving on the school board is handing out diplomas at the high school graduation. It's really just being able to shake hands and congratulate them, and just seeing the just the wonderful men and women that Shakopee is graduating. The future is in good hands, and we're doing great things, and it's just really excited to see. I'm continually impressed by the amazing young men and women that attend our schools. Obviously that's thanks to the tireless efforts of our award-winning teachers, and we need to give them all the support they need, the compensation they deserve, and the resources they need to continue to weather the challenges that we've experienced over the last several years. I get the pleasure of accompanying our superintendent while he gets to attend classes. So I've seen the teachers at work and the great things they do. It's really just heartening just to see them in action. And I know we're heading in a great direction. And finally, I'd be remiss if I didn't mention that on the ballot this November is a renewal for the capital projects levy. A better name for this levy is the safety and technology levy. This levy is essential for safety technology like cameras and security systems in the district. Most people when they hear technology, they think of like iPads and laptops, but it's really much more than that. It is essential for the safety and security of our district, in addition to empowering teachers to teach them for what they do. This is a renewal of an existing levy at the same rate, so your taxes will remain the same. And I just really want to put a big promotion in there to vote yes for kids this fall.
Great. Thank you. The views expressed in these interviews are those of the candidates, not those of the Chamber and Visitors Bureau. The Chamber is sponsoring these interviews as a service to the community and has gone to great lengths to ensure the objectivity. The Chamber does not endorse any candidate, but seeks to provide you, the citizens and voters of Shakopee, with the information you need to make an informed choice. The Shakopee Chamber and Visitors Bureau extends a sincere thank you to the candidates. Thanks again, Jeff. We appreciate your time and your service to our community by running for office. You are performing an important service to us all. Again, thank you for joining us for this edition of Meet the Candidates 2024. Thank you, Jeff.
Thanks, Tim.